They're new. They're authentic. They're the fastest miniature metal cars you've ever seen. New Hot Wheels, only from Mattel. California custom-style cars with power bulges, torsion bar suspensions, chrome engines, red stripe racing slicks. New Hot Wheels. There's more. Collect them by themselves or get them in action sets with special track and accessories. So you can race them or stunt them. Choose from the strip action set, the drag race action set, the stunt action set, the hot curves race action set. New Hot Wheels, only from Mattel. The fastest miniature metal cars you've ever seen.
All right, starting us off in lane number 1 from Poverty Hollow Diecast, it's Mongoose taking on the Bavarian Bomber in his ride, the Hood, in gold. Oof, 2053 to 98. Let's switch lanes. Track temperature now at a 79 degrees. 2059, Bavarian Diecast, moving on to round number 2. Next up, a couple from Scale Racing Channel, as the bracket would have it. We have Short Order taking on what is now known as the Speed Seeker, then called the Mantis. Good race. 2067 to 76, we'll switch lanes. 2067 is the time to beat. Oh yeah. Not happening. Speed Seeker are going to get it done, going to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready. From Poverty Hollow Diecast, it's the Sugar Caddy in green, taking on the Mod Quad in magenta by Scale Racing Channel. Good race. Mod Quad getting out 2062 to 80. We'll switch lanes. 2062 is the time to beat. Wow, Mod Quad getting out 63 to 78, moving the Mod Quad to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready from Scale Racing Channel in lane 1, it's the Silver Shadow Rolls Royce taking on the Peeping Bomb in gold, driven by Umi Racing. Umi out front, 2066 to 82. 2066 is the time to beat. 2064, moving Umi to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 is Poverty Hollow Diecast in his El Dorado, taking on the Bavarian Bomber in his Sugar Caddy, 1 of 3. Sugar Caddy out 2059 to 82. We'll switch lanes. 2059 is the time to beat. 2058 and the Bavarian Bomber going to round number 2. Staged and ready in lane number 1. Poverty Hollow Diecast in his El Dorado, taking on the Hood, driven by Scale Racing Channel. The Hood caught him 70 to 82. Let's switch lanes. 2070 is the time. El Dorado out front, but he got driven around in the end. What a race. 2067 sending Scale Racing to round number 2. Next up, we've got Germany taking on Finland. Northern Roads Racing in his Short Order, taking on Bavarian Diecast, other Sugar Caddy. Short Order making short work. 10,000 speed. Let's switch them. 2071 is what the Sugar Caddy will need. Not going to do it. Short Order moving on for Northern Roads to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 from Umi Racing, it's the Hood taking on Elevation Diecast Diora. Diora out front, but got driven around 62 to 86. 2062 is the time to beat. 2065, moving Umi to round number 2. Moving over to the other side of the bracket, it'll be Bavarian Diecast Racing and his Mod Quad taking on Poverty Hollow's AMX. Mod Quad 2064 to 89. If you're just now tuning in, these are all Redline vehicles. Yep, we're racing them. After all, that's what they were made for. Let's race. 2065 moving Bavarian diecast to round number 2. Ought to be a good matchup. It's Elevation Diecast Racing in the Bug-Eye, taking on Bavarian Diecast Racing in his Tri-Baby. Let's go. Bug-Eye, 2071 to 78. Let's switch them lanes. 2071 is the time to beat. Bug-Eye getting it done. Rolling on to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in the Peeping Bomb is Scale Racing Channel taking on Poverty Hollow's Sugar Caddy. Wow, good race. 72 to 75. Let's switch them lanes. 72 is the time to beat. Good race. 2071 moving the Peeping Bomb to round number 2. Next up in the blocks, how about a classic Charger driven by Poverty Hollow Diecast taking on the Umi-Ri. What for? Well, for racing, of course. What for? Taking care of business with a 61 to 89. 2061 is the time to beat. Wow. Charger took off out of the gate, but he got driven around. Man, what for? Let's go to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in the blocks, is Poverty Hollow's Bug-Eye taking on the Tri-Baby from Umi-Ri Racing. Umi-Ri with a 2060 to 91 and a second run here. Wow, took off in the end. 2060 to 89, moving Umi-Ri to round number 2. Next up, we have got a Mod Quad from Bavarian Diecast taking on the Scale Racing Silver Shadow Rolls Royce. Good race. 2071 to 75. Let's switch them up. 2071 is the time to beat. Silver Shadow, not quite enough in the tank. Moving on, the Bavarian Bomber to round number 2 in his Mod Quad. Next up in the blocks, it's another Finland, Germany spat, if you will. Northern Roads Racing in his Tri-Baby taking on the Jet Threat from Bavarian Diecast Racing. Wow, the Jet Threat taking off like a shot. 61 to 80. 2061 is the time to beat. Jet Threat taking off. 2069 to 75. Closer race this time, but it is Bavarian Diecast moving his Jet Threat to round number 2. All right, up in lane number 2 from Poverty Hollow, it's the Seaside. Seasider taking on Bavarian Diecast Racing. Let's see if he makes short order of the Seaside. Oh, my Lanta. I thought I saw gappage. 66 to 79. And 66 will be the time to beat. Kept up with him a little better this time, but 67 to 82. Enough to send short order to round number 2. And for this event, the ones who don't make it to the next round will go to the Styrofoam parking lot. Let's take a look. Round number 2 and how it's going to unfold. Got some really good looking cars getting ready to square off. Yeah, Redline Rumble at Elevation Diecast, sponsored by Poverty Hollow Adult Diecast Racing. All right, up in the block, Scale Racing Channel and his Speed Seeker Mantis taking on the Hood from Bavarian Diecast Racing. Round number 2. Wow, look at the Hood. 2055. Oh my Lanta. 2055 would be the time to beat. Wow, 2055 gets Bavarian Diecast to round number 3. All right, next up is going to be the Mod Quad for Scale Racing Channel taking on the Peeping Bomb from Umi-Ri Racing. Good race. Wow, Mod Quad getting out at 2059 to 66. Let's switch those lanes. 2059 is the time to beat. Good race. Wow. 2064. Move Scale Racing Channel to round number 2, 3. Next up for the Scale Racing Channel, it is the Hood taking on the Bavarian Sugar Caddy. Good race. Sugar Caddy with a 5.5. Oh my Lanta, man. 2055 is the time to beat. The Hood out front. Beat him this time, but not by a 5.5 in the first run. Sugar Caddy from Bavarian Diecast moving on to the third round. This ought to be a good one. It's the Hood, driven by Umi Re-Racing, taking on Short Order of Northern Roads Racing. Good race. Wow. 2064. I think Umi Re drove around him at the end. Let's get him back up top. Short Order needs a greater than 64 to advance. And he got driven around again. Oh my Lanta. It's the Hood from Umi Re moving to round number 3. Next up, staged and ready, is the Bavarian Bomber and his Mod Quad in gold, taking on Elevation Diecast Racing's Bug Eye. Oh boy, let's see if we can get the bugs out of that motor. 2060 to 63. Let's go. 2060 is the time to beat. 2060 to 66. Wow. The bigger beat by Bavarian Diecast is going to move him to round number 3. Staged and ready, the Scale Racing Channel in lane number 1, taking on Umi Re-Racing in lane number 2. We're about to see what Peeping Bomb's for. Wow, what for? 61 to 66. Let's switch lanes. Peeping Bomb needs greater than a 2061. Not happening. Wow, 2053 moving Umi Re to round number 3. Next up in the blocks, Umi Re-Racing in the Tri-Baby, taking on the Bavarian Jet Threat in magenta. Good race. Umi Re with a 2057 to 65 will switch lanes. 2057, the time to beat. Jet Threat out front. Tri-Baby getting it done, moving to round number 3. And Bavarian Diecast Racing guaranteed a spot in the next round with his Short Order or Jet Threat. Short Order 64 to 9. 2064 the time. 2066 and Short Order moving to round number 3 to face Umi Re. And when these red lines came out, for a little more than a quarter, you could have gotten one if you were a kid in 1968, 1969, 1970. Try and get them for a quarter now, and they'll call you crazy. And if you get one now, well, you're probably still going to be called crazy. Round number 3 kicks us off with the Hood from Bavarian Diecast Racing taking on the Scale Racing Channel's Mod Quad. Wow, 5.4 to 6.8. Oh my Lanta. 2054 will be the time. Wow, close race. 5.4 to 5.8. But it is the Hood moving on to round number 4. Next up, staged and ready, Bavarian Diecast and his Sugar Caddy taking on Umi Re-Racing and his Hood. Woo! Oh, look at the Sugar Caddy rolling through the Hood. Have you ever rolled through the Hood in a caddy? Woo! Caddy putting away the Hood. I can hardly believe it. Moving on to the semis in the Sugar Caddy is Bavarian Diecast. Wow. That locks him up to get into the final race. Very well done, sir. Well, moving over to the other side of the bracket, it is the second verse, same as the first. We got Bavarian Diecast Racing in his gold Mod Quad taking on Umi Re's What For. Man, let's go. What For out in front, but 2056 and a 10,000 beat by the Bavarian Bomber. 2056 and greater than a 10,000 beat. Oh my. 2058 and greater than a 10,000 beat, but the first time was a 2056. So that will be Bavarian diecast. Moving on to the finals. Well, the semifinals. There's one more race. Umi Ray never says die. He's got another one, but he's got to beat short order. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Try Baby can beat the hood. Oh, man. Oh, he can! Look at him go! 2059 to 69. Woo! He's profiling and styling. Look at that. Look at that. Man, that's real nice. Look at that. Try Baby trying to save the quadfecta. It would be an all Bavarian from here if Try Baby doesn't take it. 2059 is the time, and Try Baby from Umi Re Racing puts a niche in the works for Bavarian's domination. Let's go to the semis. Wow, what an excellent performance. Bavarian Diecast Racing in the hood and the Sugar Caddy. Which one is going to the final? Both pretty fast. 55 by the hood. 2055. 2054 by the hood moves him into the finals. Now who will it be? Can Umi Re stop Bavarian Diecast one more time to get to the final race? Try Baby has got to take out the Mod Quad. Try Baby out front. Oh, he gets the win. 2059 to 68. Let's switch them. 2059 is the time to beat. Oh, yeah. 2053 this time. Oh, my. Umi Re going to the final race. Here will be your final. It's going to be the Bavarian Diecast. It's the hood taking on Umi Re, Try Baby. What a race. But first, Bavarian Diecast has secured his spot on the podium. Let's see which one is going to claim third place, at least for now. Sugar Caddy, 2060 to 63. And it will be the Sugar Caddy with a 2056 this time. Will secure his spot for third place for now. And so it is the final race. It's the hood taking on the Try Baby from Umi Re Racing. Can Bavarian Diecast take the win, or does Umi Re play spoiler? First Redline to win 3 is going to be crowned the Redline Rumble 2024 winner. Oh, let's go! The hood with a 55 to 58. Bavarian up 1. Good race. 58 to 61. And 2058 to 61. Run number 3. And the hood puts away Try Baby. There is the final. Congratulations, Bavarian Diecast Racing, for bringing the fastest Redline to the Rumble. This is today's winner. Second place and third. Let's race them off and just see what happens. Umi Re or Bavarian. Winners at the lane swap. Try Baby. 57 to 62. 57 the time to beat. And 57. Try Baby. Second place goes to Umi Re Racing. And third place goes to Bavarian Diecast Racing. Gentlemen, congratulations on your finish today at the Redline Rumble. And so now that the main race is done, we're going to tamper with these heavyweights. Now, that is a Redline. That is a Johnny Lightning topper that I forgot to put in the toppers, but the Redlines fooled me and I kind of got excited. So I just stuck him in the Redline race. I don't know what I was thinking here, but he's also in it. Smuggler. Yeah. Smuggler. I suppose toppers should face off against the Redlines, right? Why not? So let's see. I think I'm going to put some numbers in a hat or something and pick them randomly. The way this will work is they're just all going to race, and your fastest 8 times will move on from these 14. So I'll just pick them 66, and I'll just reach back here, and 139. Let me see who that is. So yellow and green together is Umi Re-Racing, and yellow is the Scale Racing Channel. Noodlehead versus Noodlehead. Head to head. Here we go with some heavyweight. Redline Racing. Woo-wee! 204.9 to 5-1. Here we go. Roll number 2. Wow. 204.6 by Scale Racing to 5-2. Next up will be Poverty Hollow's blue Noodlehead taking on the Smuggler from Scale Racing Channel. Smuggler out ahead, 205.8 to 6-2. Run number 2. 205.1 to 5-8. Wow. Next 2 up in the blocks is a pair of noodles, Scale Racing Channel with the bright red. Bavarian diecast with the magenta. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Good race. Wow, 45 to 48. Let's switch them. And for run number 2. Good race. 204.6 by Scale Racing to 205.3 Bavarian. Next up, staged and ready in the blocks. Driving for the Scale Racing Channel in the Seasider. Taking on Elevation Diecast Racing's Redline Noodlehead. Good race. 204.9 to 5-3. And for run number 2. Good race. 204.7 to 5-7. Oh my Lanta. Next up, a little Johnny Lightning in the mix. It's the custom El Camino driven by Scale Racing Channel, taking on the Sidekick by Poverty Hollow Adult Diecast Racing. Sidekick out in front. Wow, 206.4. Looks like it pushed my bag back a little bit. Bag's taking abuse. Look how much weight I have on there. I'm really sorry that happened. He landed on his roof though, so no damage to the wheels. Very thankful for that. Let's put something back here in that bag. Jeez. You know, you take precautions and you plan the best you can to stop, you know, things from happening. And, you know, this all stopped back here too. Nerve-wracking, I tell you. Nerve-wracking. Thankfully, there's no damage. 206.4. Ugh. I can't even tell you how I cringe when that happens. Oh, I hate it. So this thing is wedged in there now really well. They're not going to be moving forward anymore. That's completely, I have it surrounded, so I mean, you know. Ugh. Alright, let's get back to racing. Alright, next up in the blocks, Umi Re-Racing taking on Poverty Hollow Diecast. Let's see them roll. Poverty Hollow, 205.2 to 5-1. Umi Re-Up. And for run number 2. Boom. 205.1 to 6-0. And the last 2 up will be Bavarian Diecast Racing and his Noodlehead taking on the Smuggler from Scale Racing Channel. Top 8 times advancing. Good race. 54 to 98. And that was 54 to 58. Run number 2. Noodlehead 206.5 to 7-4.
These rods and wheels and slabs of steel into racing cars with Mattel's Hot Wheels factory. You make Marengo, Dominator, Overtaker. 10 different styles, all new, all Hot Wheels. Make them with Hot Wheels factory. Just as fast, just as cool, because you make them. with Mattel's Hot Wheels factory.
All right, so there are the eliminated, and I had to call the owner, and I appreciate it. I told him what was up. He said no harm, no foul. So, whew, take extra precaution. Just so you know, when I set up these tracks, my next setup will be a full go-through stop, and it'll be completely walled off. There'll be none of this openness whatsoever. So, all this that I got going on here will be eliminated. It'll be closed off. It'll be a full box. You won't be able to get through nothing for nothing. So, we're stopped right good for now. It's not moving. We're good to go. Let's get these final 8 ran. And a look at the final 8. SRC topping the charts with the first 3 and the last one. Let's roll. Let's roll the Seasider and the Smuggler. Both Scale Racing Channel. Good race. 5-2 to 5-3. Seasider up. Run number 2. Good race. Smuggler 54 to 56. All right, up next is the Poverty Hollow Sidekick taking on another one of Brandon's noodles. Scale Racing. Good race. 52 to 4. And for run number 2. Wow, 2049 to 51. Good times. Umiri Racing takes on Scale Racing. Good race. 45 to 7. And switching lanes. 2048 to 52. And Umiri takes on Bavarian Diecast. Bavarian out front 52 to 5. And run number 2. Bavarian way out front. Umiri was catching up 2 to 5 again. What a run. Top 4 moving on. Scale Racing Channel, Umiri Racing, Scale Racing Channel, and Poverty Hollow Diecast. So the Sidekick, the only non-noodlehead to make it to the final 4. Umiri Racing taking on Poverty Hollow. Let's go. Good race. 2048 to 49. And for run number 2. Sidekick. 2050 to 56. And let's see what the Scale Racing Noodleheads will do. 52 to 54. Red is ahead. And 2043. Wowzer. That's a really good time. Final 2, Scale Racing Channel taking on Umiri Racing, which leaves us for the battle of 3rd place between Poverty Hollow Diecast and Scale Racing Channel. Poverty Hollow out front. Scale Racing drove around them at the end. 2050 to 52. 2050. Good race. 2048 puts the Noodlehead in 3rd place for Scale Racing. All right, for the final, we'll get 2 laps down each lane. Fastest time will be emerged victorious. Umiri Racing in lane 1, Scale Racing Channel in lane number 2. Let's go. Wow, 44 to 46. Scale Racing up 1. Run number 2. Good race. 2050 to 51 by Umiri. Run 3. Good race. 2048 Scale Racing. And the final run of the evening. Wow. 2045 by Scale Racing Channel. We'll put the Scale Racing Channel for the heavyweights. Number 1 for the evening. Congratulations. What a race. Umiri coming in 2nd. Also with his Noodlehead. So he took 2nd place on the podium all night tonight. And Scale Racing Channel shares 3rd spot along with Bavarian Diecast for 3rd place, along with Bavarian Diecast in 1st place. So what a unique turnout. What a unique week of racing. This was absolutely incredible to run. It was definitely a pleasure, a privilege, an honor to run these cars, and I really appreciate you guys trusting me with your cars. And what a race. Let's see if the number ones can get in their respective weight class and just kind of see where they'll sit here at Mile High. 51 to 61 weight class for the hood. Let's just see what he does against my number one. Ooh, he was creeping up on him. 52 to 7. 52 and greater than 5. Good race. 51 and greater than 5. Wow, just beat my number one in that class. That's amazing. So how about that for a Redline? Beats out. Wow, that's amazing. Good job. And for the Noodlehead, number one in this weight class for me is the Crown Vic by Tiger Wheels. Good race. 44 to 49. Let's see, 44 and greater than 5. Tiger Wheels out ahead, but he got drove around. I know 51 won't get into the top tier. Let's see if this Noodlehead, I don't know if Haley's woke up yet or not. I think she's going to be done. Oh, yeah. Well, 52, she's not running bad, but she's not what she used to be. 48 and greater than 4. Close, but not close enough. So it's Skell Racing Channel taking on Isaiah's race team. 15 in the top tier. He'll get it. 48 to 51. 48 and greater than 3. Oh yeah, 44. Let's just put Haley up against the hood by Bavarian Diecast and see what happens. Haley gets him. 2051 and greater than 2. Haley gets him again. Looks like Haley's picking back up. That's good. Good, good, good. Next up for the Noodle, it's my time machine. 43 to 9. Wow. Good race. 44 to 49. Well, let's play 1, 2, skip a few and get to number 8. 51 to 2. Closer. 2051 and greater than 1. 2046. He's moving up. Another one from Isaiah's race team. Mr. Bowtie. Number 7. Close race. 49 to 50. 49 and greater than 1 is what the Noodle will need. Looks like he'll get it. 45 and 4. Wow. Well, it's Dad's splatter paint funny car sitting at number 6. Noodlehead. Woo! 2046 and a 10,000 speed. 2046 and greater than 10,000 is needed by the funny car. He won't get it. Well, doesn't that look familiar? Sitting at number 5, Dad's ambulance. Oh, 47 to 49. Noodle needs to beat a 47 and greater than a 2,000 speed. Won't happen, but man, oh man, what a run. So the Scale Racing Channel would sit number 6 overall with his Noodlehead in the elevated top tier rankings. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this Redline Rumble. Thank you for joining us. If you've made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate everybody, the support and feedback from the channel here, and we're really honored to be able to run these cars. No Redline or Johnny was hurt during this broadcast. And what do we have there? A heavyweight. Think we got time for one more race? Tiger Wheels staged and ready. Bavarian Diecast Racing taking on Elevation Diecast Racing. Winner. Well, let's see how fast they are, and then we'll decide. Wow. 2043. That's a top tier. Let me see where this one. Let's see. We'll put Grandpa over here for now. He's gonna hang out in the garage. And well, let's put him up against the gatekeeper. This one should get a little faster. I think he's got some rubbing issues. He might have to be chiseled on a bit to get him to free up more than he is. Yeah, he's quick, but he's not as fast as he could be. He's you can see there. So yeah, he doesn't touch there, but he barely touches there. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with his hindrance. 64-7 though. We'll see if we can get him to roll a little faster. He ran a 5.3 at one point in time, so I'm not quite sure what is going on with that one. I'll have to work with him some more, but very cool car, very cool casting, very cool model. You got to get him just right though. Body rub anywhere, chassis, wheel, you just don't know. And I think some part of the hindrance is the back wheel. So we'll look at that one. I think Haley's day is over. She's about to get beat by a tiger. Well, her run was great, but I think that it's over. Yep, 42. Oh my Lanta, here we go. Haley never reached 42 in her prime. I don't see her doing it now. So let's roll. Of course, Haley will take her rightful spot in the 41 to 50 weight class. Oh yeah, 54-7, 2054, 2051. Haley on top of her weight class. So, man, I really dig this car. And there it is, back on top. So I think it'd only be fair to make it official to beat number 15 to get into the top tier. He does it, but not with ease. So 2045 to 46. Let's switch them. 2045 and greater than 1,000 speed. 2046 and 3. So he is quicker. Let's see him beat the time machine. 44 to 9. 44 beats a 7. Let's just see what he does against the ambulance. Why not, right? 47 and 10 thousandths. Can't beat the Ambi, but he gets a 4.4. Well, technically, number 6 right now is that Noodlehead from Scale Racing. Let's see it. Good race. 49 to 50. 2049 and greater than 1 is the time to beat. Noodlehead out in front. 48 and 1. Oh, he got him. He got him. Let's see if he can take out my splatter paint. He can. 43 to 5. He just can't get past the Ambi or the Noodle. 42 to 6. No, he can't get past him either. Oh, my Lanta. Well, let's see if he can get past Isaiah's bow tie. Oh, he gets the bow tie guy. 43 to 7. 43 and greater than 4. And he'll place. Well, surprise, surprise. Another funny car in the top tier ranks. And them things are fast. And so here is a look at the updated top tier. There it is. I'm working on getting faster, and I think I'm falling behind. You guys are catching me quick, and that's all right. I always like to see others succeed and get faster. Well, that was a ton of fun. In the future, moving forward here, we're going to be making some pretty steep changes. I'm going to be working on getting these wrapped up and sent back to their owners. I've got a lot of work ahead of me in that, and we'll be doing that as soon as we get back from Arizona. So, man, that was a lot of fun. I don't know how much more racing we're going to be doing on this particular setup, the way you see it now, but from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, thank you for racing with us. And if you have not raced here at Mile High or White Lightning Raceway, I hope you race with us in the future. We're going to be making some vast improvements. It will not be like this for very much longer. I can promise you it's not going to be like that. That's the last time we're going to see that. Whether I run a couple more races here or not, we're just going to open up the box and redo it. There's a lot that goes into this racing. It's not just setting up a track and throwing cars down it. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of time and effort in getting the track even and leveling and so on and so forth. So I do hope you folks have enjoyed. I might be able to squeeze out a Friday Night Lightning, I think, before I go. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, well, if your car isn't fast, keep racing, and at least it'll look good on the shelf. Have a great night.